Okay. All right. Okay. Talking head videos. All right, what's going on, party people? Pinnable Josh Breen here, back with another video. The last video that I uploaded, shoe related, a lot of people received it and left comments, and I always forget that people like talking about shoes. And if you've been a part of my channel for a while, I used to talk about shoes a lot. To give you guys a little bit of backstory, I started getting into shoes right after high school. I got a pair of Hyperdunk 2010s.
All right, these are the new Hyperdunk 2010. These shoes are amazing. It's like a mid-top Zoom Kobe 5.
Right after high school, and then I got a pair of Kobe 5s, Team Bank colorway after high school, and I played volleyball in both pairs.
Zoom Kobe 5s, the team ones.
Yeah, let's go. Leading up to that, I played volleyball in Mizuno's. I wore a pair of Nike volleyball shoes. I'll probably put them on the screen if I can find them. And that's what I wore in high school, I think. And I wore Wave Lightning 5s in club. And then I wore Mizuno Wave Tornado 4s, which were probably one of the best shoes I wore at the time. But never really got into sneaker tech and all that stuff until I saw a review from Nightwing2303, aka Chris, shout out Wear Testers. And I learned a lot from watching his videos, and I got into that. And then as I got older and as I started playing more, played college club, and just playing more volleyball, I started getting more into shoes. And this was around like early 2010s. And that's when I started to kind of grow my love and my knowledge when it comes to shoes. So give you guys a little bit of backstory. It's not like I'm just like talking out my butt. I kind of have a good understanding of this. Moving on, I had the opportunity to work at a Nike factory outlet for a couple years, and which is where I also got the opportunity to kind of partner with Wear Testers for a little bit. These Jordan 29 lows might be the best shoes I've ever played in so far. Hang out with Chris, play basketball, get to understand the tech, how the shoe industry works, and then also at the same time continue to grow as a volleyball player, jumper, I dunk, etc., etc. It's not like I'm just like talking because I like shoes. I first and foremost come as an athlete, as a volleyball player. I try and give pretty good perspective and a pretty unbiased opinion, although I'm pretty biased when it comes to brands. But I try and be pretty fair and give my best opinion and share my experience when it comes to that stuff. When it comes to like the review videos or the my thoughts videos, they're not necessarily reviews because everyone has reviews, everyone has their thoughts, everyone shares tech breakdowns, etc., etc. But they don't really kind of share their experience of things that they like and kind of like what they think that is best for them and how that the shoe kind of benefits them, or if it doesn't. If you watch a bunch of my old videos when it comes to my thoughts, I kind of just share my thoughts. It's just kind of raw, kind of barely edited, just because I want to try and share my thoughts like just straight up. With my last video, a lot of people kind of received it pretty well, and I think that there is a good amount of comments and questions on there. I'm kind of just gonna go through these comments and answer these questions. Appreciate y'all for interacting and being a part of the video and commenting. And if you guys enjoy these types of videos, let me know. Feel free to leave a comment. Hopefully we'll start to get this conversation going and we'll start to push out more content related to this. So I guess to continue that, I continue to play volleyball, jump and train and everything, and kind of my needs changed and my perspective on things changed. So when I was playing a lot of volleyball, to put it in perspective, I needed shoes that had pretty good lateral stability, shoes that had good solid grip, consistent grip, a decent amount of cushion, and they fit me well. Another thing that I kind of look at for shoes, and this is where everyone's different, if the shoe has weird heel slip issues, if the shoe kind of feels soft in the heel for me, I don't really prefer that because especially in the sport of volleyball, tend to do a lot of heel strikes when it comes to taking our approach. There's a lot of repeated movements, and over time, if there's any sense of doubt or any sense of like second guessing things, typically will not play to your full capacity because now you're thinking about like, is a shoe messing me up? Is it me messing up? You want to wear shoes and wear equipment that will support you in the things that you're doing. So especially with the Lebron 20s, like if you watched it, I couldn't really tell if I liked them or not. I would say they're like a mid shoe for me. Like I wouldn't really keep them in my bag just to give you guys a little bit more perspective and understanding of like where I'm coming from. Granted, like I do believe they're great shoes and there's someone out there that loves them. Like my brother, he has 2 pairs. Me, I only have 1 pair. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different experience. Everyone's foot is different. Everyone has different play styles. I think it's good to get people's perspectives and thoughts about it. Additionally, I would say though, I think this is the same for a lot of people. When it comes to seeing someone wear a shoe and play in a shoe, it definitely influences you to be like, oh, is that shoe good? What shoe are they wearing? Like, why do you like that shoe, etc., etc. Like I said, I look for shoes that have good traction, aka grip. So on the floor, especially in sports, you definitely get to wipe a lot. So there are times in volleyball where you get to wipe in between sets or in between plays. So if the traction is solid, that's gonna be one thing that I look for. The squeak is nice, but if the bite is good, that's definitely what I look for. Another thing that I look for is solid cushioning. So it doesn't have to be, when I was younger, I wanted like very bouncy cushion. Now I just need solid cushion. There's different types of cushion. You could get like soft, you could get responsive cushioned, which is like in the middle, you get super bouncy. Those that could be unstable. So you have to kind of know what you like. And then the fit for me is a big deal too. So if like the fit is weird, the fit is going to be one part of the shoe that's going to determine if you're going to be supported or not, because you're going to be playing a sport or jumping, moving, running around, multi-directional movements. Like, and if there's any point of the shoe that doesn't feel right, you could get injured. The fit isn't right, you won't be supported. Those are things that I look for. And then additionally, like if they look cool, if they're low top, like me personally, I like wearing white shoes. But if it's a cool colorway, I'm down to wear them too. Just to give you guys a little bit more perspective and insight of like what I look for a shoe. I think going back to the point that like if you see someone wear a shoe, that kind of could influence you to consider like, hey, is that shoe good? For example, like think of any signature athlete that you like. For example, like one that was really influential on me was Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan has a bunch of shoes. People bought them because he was a great athlete and the shoes were pretty good. Another one that I can think of is Kobe. Kobe's super popular. He was a great athlete. He was a champion and his shoes also reflected that, which in turn influences everyone else want to wear his shoes. I don't blame anyone for considering, hey, I'm probably gonna wear these shoes because 1, this athlete wears them. 2, this athlete kind of moves and plays like me. 3, the shoe that they wear might benefit me the way it benefits them. I understand why people ask and why they consider things, and also they want to try and do research and get understanding of like, hey, is this gonna be worth it for me? That's kind of my reasoning behind making the thoughts videos, not necessarily like just putting out a review just to review shoes, because there's hundreds and tons of other people out here on the YouTube platform and they make really great breakdowns, tech breakdowns, explanations of how they are, what they experience. I'm just trying to give you my experience and share my thoughts because someone out there is gonna want to hear it and know. So let's get into the questions and the comments, and thanks for watching the video. So starting off, we got Song Peter 1458 commenting, what's your best #1 shoes for volleyball? And then follow up was the Sean M66 with, yeah, that's my question too. Kang Banger followed up with saying, what is your go-to peak performer? I would say this is kind of like a loaded question, because if you were to go with all-time favorite shoe, it's pretty common for a lot of people. It depends on how I'm feeling. Now I have to think about that. My best #1 shoes for volleyball, I would say would be this shoe. Kobe 6. Overall, if you could get your hands on a pair, this is probably a really good decision choice-wise for you to try out. Additionally, it's really difficult to get yourself a pair of Kobe's unless you win a raffle or you go out and pick it up on a whim or someone makes a return. But if you could get a pair, good traction, they fit pretty well, they mold to your feet. Cushion is pretty solid. They last pretty long. They have polyurethane scales, so they're pretty protected. Traction takes some time to break in, and the shoe actually does take some time to break in before you could start feeling anything when it comes to being a performance shoe. But overall, this is like one of the most ideal court shoes, I would say, in general, to pick up. Yeah, so here's my pair from 2011. They're kind of wearable still, but they're pretty worn out. I think the glue's starting to wear out. I had about almost 10 pairs from back 2011, and I liked them a lot. The traction was good, they fit me well. The cushion was actually pretty good, even though it was a small zoom bag and then a heel zoom bag. For the time, Nike was pushing out a bunch of them and they went on sale. Just like any signature model that comes out now for any athlete, especially like if it's like their first 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs, they're definitely going to retail for cheaper. But for this model itself, it gives a lot of bang for your buck. At that time, now they're like pushing $180, $190, $200 because people value them at such a high value. It kind of passes the test of time when it comes to performance, to the point where they made an additional volleyball version, which was the Nike Hyper Attack. And if you guys seen that, my review I'll probably link it in the description or in the top pinned comment. Nike Air Zoom Hyper Attack. When I first saw the shoe, I thought this was the Kobe 6. Pretty much a shoe that's an updated version of the Kobe 6 because I actually have the Kobe 6 in hand. Back in 2016, they made a revised version of the Kobe 6 basically without the scales, updated traction, and kept the tech basically the same, and it was like a new shoe again. And it was kind of nice to have the Kobe 6 reimagined for volleyball. Shout out Reed Pretty for sending your boy a pair. Pretty sick shoe. Shout out to Reed Pretty. Thank you for them sending these over. And having a hand in on kind of influencing the volleyball shoe market, because I think that made a huge difference when it came to providing insight of like what's a good shoe for volleyball. Nike volleyball and Reed Pretty and that time frame kind of shifted how people considered footwear for volleyball. You can tell now like the shoes that come out now are heavily influenced by the needs of players and how the style of shoes, and now volleyball players everywhere wear anything, whereas like prior to that most people just wore like Mizuno's Asics volleyball specific shoes, and now those brands also have kind of shifted to kind of mimic follow the trends to kind of what players need. So it's kind of cool. If you are gonna ask me what's my favorite shoe currently to play in right now, it would probably be this shoe. Series player only, Player 1 Plus, but this is entirely different from like one of my favorite shoes from like 4 years ago, which was this. It's a Jordan 34. So it really honestly depends on what I'm looking for, how I'm feeling, what type of competition I'm going up against. But the bare minimum has to kind of reflect my needs in terms of like as a player. So like I said, good traction, good cushion, and good fit. Majority of the shoes that I have, for the most part, kind of check those boxes. So this is a very difficult question for me to answer, and it's always changing because sometimes I feel a different way. Sometimes I want to wear a different shoe. Sometimes, like for example, like Kobe 6s, I love that shoe, but the one issue I had was that this heel area right here would wear out, and then the insole would kind of like dip and kind of warp and then dig into my heel. So even though I love this shoe, there's still issues with this shoe for everyone. And then after a while, like durability issues, so you gotta go get yourself another pair. Pro tip though, if there is a shoe that you really, really like, I highly suggest you buy multiple pairs. And I know that sounds very like, why would I do that? I'll just buy one pair and then move on to the next. If you're an athlete and you like a shoe, most of the time you don't wanna think about getting a new shoe, even though it's as intriguing as it is, as exciting as it is to kind of get into that. If you're purely about performance, and don't want to think about that, buy multiple pairs and you won't regret it, because over the course of like the next 2, 3, 4 years, you'll have the same pair of shoes. You won't have to worry about performance. Everyone else is like, well, what's the next best shoe? You're literally rocking the same shoe over and over again. If you guys don't know, I love the Jordan Why Not 0.1. I bought so many pairs of those and I wore literally that shoe in different colors all the time because I love that shoe. Same thing with the Kobe, same things with Jordan 34s, same thing with the Jordan 36s, same thing with the series player onlys. Like if I like a shoe, I'm gonna get multiple pairs of that shoe. This is a very difficult question because number one, volleyball shoes, like if I had to pick one though, I would probably pick Kobe's. I had multiple pairs of Kobe 4s, multiple pairs of Kobe 5s, multiple pairs of Kobe 6s. For the most part, you can expect really good performance out of all of them. Just like every different model has something different that it excels at. It's really dependent on what you need in the shoe. Hopefully this answered your question. So we're gonna address this comment, which is from Scott A. Hedenbach. I'd love to know what some of your recent favorite pairs are. And then he went on to say that I went true to size initially with the Lebron 20 and hated them, and ended up getting a pair half size up and fell in love with them. It made all the difference. That was something I was considering when going for this pair, but after watching a lot of videos, people said like go true to size. They said like they went up half a size and it made it better. And I think I would have had the same experience. Recently, I float between like a size 9.5 and a size 10. Some shoes fit better than others, some don't. I feel like these ones probably would have been better in a 10 for me. But then if I were to go to like, for example, Nike Air Zoom Generation, if I went in a 10 of these would fit so big. So it really depends on what the shoe model is and how it's designed and the purpose and how to move in it and stuff like that. And dependent on like what type of materials are. It just really depends on if the fit works. I agree. Like it just really just depends. We'll move on to the answering the question, which what are some of my favorite pairs? Recently, I've been wearing a lot of older pairs, I would say, but it, like I said, it really just depends on how I'm feeling and what I want to wear, if the shoes look cool too, because I think if there's anything when it comes to shoes, function matters the most to me, but form also is pretty cool to have. So if you have a shoe that is stylish but also is functionally sound and allows you to perform well, then that's kind of like the mix that you want. So you can tell in a lot of shoes today, they want to go towards like, oh, these look cool. There's a concept behind it. There's a whole story behind it. And then also they function really well. And I think that's like a common theme that happens like initially with most shoes now. Whereas before, there's like one piece of the shoe that kind of tells the story and then everything else is just function. But we'll go into some of my favorites that I've been playing in a while, and I'll kind of give more context to that. I know I previously just talked about this shoe. This is the Serious Player Only Game 1. This shoe is heavily inspired by Kobe. There's a drop-in midsole. It's super lightweight. If you like looked at a quick glance, you might think they're Kobe's, but they're not. This is a totally separate brand that's like inspired by Kobe. Reason why I like this shoe, it's pretty low to the ground. Cushion system is drop-in midsoles. They sell different midsoles. One that's called the Explosive. I think there's like a support and then there's a light. They all play slightly differently. All the models that are made by Serious Player Only could put those insoles in any of their models, which is awesome. And it's pretty affordable. Like every midsole is like $30 to $40. One wears out, you just buy a new pair. Sometimes if you buy a pair from Serious Player Only, they'll send you 2 midsoles, which is pretty amazing. And they got cool colorways, which is also amazing. Shout out to Serious Player Only. They have great product and they also listen to their consumers and their reviews. So they're trying to constantly improve. I had literally no complaint. This pair is my favorite pair because it kind of fits me the best way. I've had every pair all the way up until this point. So like from when they started in 2022 at the end of that all the way to this pair, I saw subtle improvements from sizing to materials, laces, just overall feel of the shoe, the changes for the midsoles, etc., etc. Everything changes, but the shoe just becomes more and more solid over time. And it's just kind of nice to see something like this kind of come to fruition. And, you know, when you wear it, kind of just works out. Some of my favorite aspects of this, traction. I don't really complain about traction at all. It's super squeaky. Bite the floor and it's pretty durable. And they have another model called the Game 1 that is super durable as well. It's really supportive. Fits like a mid top and the materials are more traditional. Like I think it's like a synthetic leather and they're really supportive. This is like the lighter mesh version. And if you want to play fast and feel quick, this is a shoe that I like to wear. And it looks pretty cool. And they're low cut. They fit nice on the foot. I go up half a size for this brand, preferably for me. But most of the time, like if I need a shoe, this shoe would probably stay in my bag, like just as a backup. I never really second guess myself when wearing them anyways. And it's just a nice backup to have. And if I want to just kind of not think about my performance and just play, just throw these on and, you know, just get lost in playing and moving around and having fun. So Serious Player Only, Player 1 Plus, highly recommend. I know I mentioned it in the last segment, but Jordan 34, this pair is like 4 years old now. But if you could get a pair, if you get your hands on a pair, either used or secondhand market, my favorite aspects of this shoe is that it's like super bouncy. There's a large zoom bag unit in here in the forefoot and in the heel. Herringbone traction, so they're really squeaky. The only weird thing is that they fit kind of funny, but once you get this shoe broken in, it's really supportive. I never really got hurt in this shoe. They're pretty lightweight. This was the last one. Well, except for the 36, because I also like the 36. I guess we'll put this with the 36. When it comes to Jordan Brand, they're always trying to innovate and they want to create like high performing shoes. And this was one of the pairs that I was like, okay, I need to really try this out. And once I tried it out, like I couldn't stop wearing it, which was unfortunate because COVID hit when I got this shoe. So this shoe kind of went through COVID with me. I wore them outside for a little bit and then I practiced a lot in it. But I didn't really get too much opportunity to like compete in them. I just wore them like to practice, open gym. I do have multiple pairs. I have a low top pair and this pair, and then I had a red pair, but my brother has that pair now. So if I could get another pair, I definitely would in heartbeat. If you like really springy shoes and the traction is like really good, like I don't ever have to worry about slipping in the shoe. So Jordan 34 is a go-to. I guess we'll talk about recent shoes I've been wearing, but they're not really recent. So this shoe is the KD3. Actually, I think it's relevant though, because you definitely could get this shoe right now. This is the OG pair from 2009. I got this shoe on eBay for like 60 bucks. And the cool thing about the KD3 from back in the day is that like they only cost like less than 90 bucks. KD was huge on like making an affordable shoe at the time. So I bought them for like less than retail, which was amazing. There's not that much tech in this. There's literally just a zoom bag unit right here. It has flywire. It's made out of leather, and I think that's the best thing that I like about the shoe is the fact that it's like made from that era, 2010-ish era, where it's textiles and it's leather. But the downside is that this shoe is definitely breaking down. Like there's a lot of midsole separation, so I definitely pick and choose my battles when wearing this shoe. And from having this pair makes me think about like, man, do I really want to invest on a new KD3 for $130 or whatever they retail now? And I'm getting really close to considering that because I'm getting really sad that this pair hair is starting to grow out. But it's kind of a good thing because I got to experience it and wear this shoe as much as I could. I think another thing too is like it's nice to kind of have perspective of like how's a shoe that performed from 2009, 2010 to compared to now. And I really do appreciate shoes from that earlier era, and makes me appreciate shoes that come out now, such as like the Series Player Only, which like they're completely different in terms of like their functionality and how they affect how you play. Another shoe that I've been playing in a lot, actually a shoe that I guess retroed. So this is the Nike Zoom Generation. This is a shoe from literally 2003. But they brought it back in all its glory. And I've been wearing this shoe since I got it, and it got discounted a bunch. So they retroed them and they discounted them, and I got like another discount on top of the discount online. So I copped them. I'll bring this up because I was gonna make a video about it. Maybe I will still, but maybe I won't because we were talking about it. But the LeBron 20, LeBron Zoom Generation. If I were to pick one, and this is, hot take, obviously, I'd pick this shoe over this shoe, purely based on the fact that like the fit is way better and they're the same size. When it comes to overall, like what is better in each, if you were to ask me, traction is better in this shoe, but everything else I like in this shoe. Just the overall fit, how they feel, just the materials just feel more like they form to my feet better, and everything else just like I like this shoe way better. I don't know why. I could go outside and rock them if I really wanted to. I could play basketball outside and jump outside. They'll be super durable. I won't have to worry about them, and then go back inside and do the same thing. There are definitely its faults. Like it's definitely heavier, way heavier than this shoe, but this is where it goes to like preference wise. Whatever you like to prefer in terms of like lightweight, traction, fit, etc., etc. Things change, right? And I think it's cool too because LeBron as an athlete changed. He wore like super bulky shoes because he's from that era, and then now he wears like super light, low cut shoes, and it works. Additionally though, I would say I do like wearing slightly bulkier shoes. Another pair that I do really favor, like I mentioned, is the Jordan Why Not 0.1. That's a super bulky shoe. Even the low cut is a super bulky shoe. Any of the Jordan brand shoes are bulky, even if they're low cut. The Kobe 4, one of my favorite shoes, is considered a low cut, but it is also bulky. I just prefer a slightly more substantial shoe compared to like super lightweight shoes, but that definitely depends on my mood. All right, I found my other shoes, but just to give you guys a little bit more perspective, Jordan 36, Jordan Why Not 0.1 low, just a couple pairs that I keep around me a little bit more. There's another pair that I don't have on me right now that I actually do kind of like to wear just to kind of throw in the mix. I don't have it. It's in my car. It is going to be the Way of Wade All City 11 version 2. I like that shoe. It fits really nice. The cushion is really solid. It's full length boom with cloud foam, I believe. That fit is pretty good. The outsole is really durable. I would say though, I didn't really have the same experience when it came to traction though, as a lot of people. A lot of people say they're like super squeaky, they bite the floor. My experience kind of is in the middle where they're really good and then they attract dust really fast and then I have to take them off. So it depends on the play surface that I'm on for me to like them. They're pretty bouncy, but it just really depends on if the floor wants to cooperate with the shoe. So I guess that shoe is like honorable mention for me. But ideally, if you were to see me go play volleyball right now, probably the Series Player Only was going to be in my bag, and then it would be kind of a toss up as to like what's the additional pair, because if you don't know me, I usually bring 2 pairs of shoes because you never know if like one shoe works out, your foot just doesn't fit right. It literally happens all the time to me. And sometimes I just switch up shoes halfway through a game or halfway through a set just because I'm being picky or just like in my mind, I'm just not moving right. So you will often see me change my shoes, either open gym or if I'm playing at a tournament. There's only been a handful of times where I'll just like play in a shoe straight up. And, if I'm like super locked in and playing, I will play in that shoe the whole time because I am locked in. So I guess that's the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that like button as well. And if you want more content, feel free to subscribe. I do upload volleyball videos pretty frequently, basically every other day. If not, you'll probably expect a video within the week. But I guess the last thing I will say, which is a weird way to cut off the video because I'm saying all that stuff and then saying other things. I have a handful of shoes that I have that I'm still like quote unquote testing, that I'm still trying out. I do have the Way of Wade 808. I forgot which one this one is. I think this is the 2. Way of Wade Ultra 808, which is like also like a Kobe. If you guys want to see a review on this, let me know. I got this last year, but I don't really wear it because I have hella other shoes that I like to wear. But if you guys want to see my thoughts on this shoe, because I know that there's other models that are out that are like that, and typically Way of Wade will put a bunch of their older stock on sale, and I think this is one of them. Let me know if you guys want a review on this. I also just did get the Way of Wade Flash Caution colorway. I'm not a huge fan of all black. Depends. I did play in this shoe recently, and if you guys want to know my thoughts on this shoe as well, let me know. This shoe, I believe, is more of a lifestyle shoe, but the function is crazy. Like, I would say, just to give you a heads up, if you like this model, it's super lightweight. The materials are pretty malleable. You don't really have to break it in too much, and the traction is ridiculous. Spoiler alert, I rolled my ankle in these just by taking a step. If you are someone who likes a lot of traction, this is a really solid model. So if you like play like, I don't know, like a point guard, or if you play volleyball and you're like a libero or a setter or something, you need court feel, like this shoe is ridiculous. So I rolled my ankle in this shoe, and if you guys want to see a video on this, let me know. And then additionally, I think we might do a giveaway for this, but it might be specific. I do have a pair of but I have this shoe, which is by 361 Degrees. Yeah, I forgot the name of the shoe. This is Jokic's shoe, by the way. I still need to test and try out this shoe. I'm really excited to try them out because I've never tried anything from this brand. But from trying on and trying out the traction, really, really surprising because, like I said, I never tried anything from this brand. But like I said, I might do a giveaway for this pair specifically. But I got to figure out how I'm going to set that up, just because I don't really post too many shoe videos. I still be out here trying stuff out. But yeah, make sure to follow me on Instagram, SpiderPenWheezy. I have jump tips. Links are all in the description. I also now have a TikTok, and I try and post on there now more frequently. I know that as of today, April 24th, 2024, the US TikTok got banned. I don't know how that's going to affect things, but I post on there just to make fun content. I do post my stuff on Instagram as well when it comes to shoes. Make sure to follow me on those social media sites if you want to see more stuff like that. And if you guys enjoy like the talking videos, if you guys have comments, I'm more open to responding to them now, because like I said in my last video, I think that I'd like to share my experience and my thoughts more when it comes to these things, because I think back in the day I would share them and I wouldn't be able to articulate or express myself in the way that I feel was appropriate, or that I felt kind of was one-to-one to how I felt. I don't know how to explain it. Now I feel more comfortable being able to express myself and how I experience things more. Today is crazy where, especially with the short form content and long form content, there's like a weird balance between the two. I enjoy the longer form content more than the short form content. Which is why I've been on YouTube for so long. I've been on YouTube for since 2006, and I've been making videos and uploading videos since then. So it's kind of more comfortable in this setting. I'll do my best to respond to things, make videos like this, and hopefully you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.